Oftentimes, when I sit down with a new client, I get asked two major questions about retirement. When should I start saving? And how do I start saving? And what I've come to find is that many people feel very anxious about retirement because it's a lot of money, it seems risky, and it seems unattainable. This video will go over when you should start saving, why saving for retirement is important, how much you should start saving, and how you can get started. Stay with me on this video because this should not be an anxious topic for you. It should be an exciting one. You can use my free budget setting tool to keep track of your savings progress and stay organized. This will provide encouragement as you see yourself growing closer and closer to reaching your retirement and other financial goals. To receive your own copy of the tool, subscribe to my email list found on my website, millsknowsbills.com. And to make sure you don't miss out on any future videos about practical budget setting tips, information from experts, or other personal finance help, subscribe to my YouTube channel here. New videos will be posted every Tuesday, and trust me, you don't want to miss out. Retirement is when one formally decides to step away from the workforce and rely on investments, Social Security, and other accounts to compensate for income. So it goes without saying that retirement savings are really important so you can maintain your standard of living while you're no longer working. As mentioned earlier, I get asked when someone should start saving for retirement all the time. The answer, the earlier the better. I understand that this answer doesn't necessarily prompt anyone to start saving, so I'm gonna actually show you an example of why it's important to start saving sooner rather than later. So the first scenario is a 25-year-old, and they have $50,000 to invest and leave it there for 40 years until they retire at 65 years old. On average, let's just say that they earned an interest rate of 8% year over year. By the time they get ready to retire, that will equate to $1,086,226, just based off of a one-time investment of $50,000, okay? Now, let's show you a later example. We have a 45-year-old, takes the same $50,000, just a one-time investment, leaves it in the account until they are 65, so only 20 years of it growing, and let's just say the same 8%. By the time they get ready to retire that 20 years later, that $50,000 would have only turned into $233,047. What would you prefer? Now think of a number you think you could have saved for retirement. Now think of a number that you'd like to have saved, but don't think is necessarily attainable. Add an extra 50% to that number just to make it more uncomfortable. Make that number your goal for retirement and write that number in the comments below. Writing it down will help make it feel real. Don't get overwhelmed by this number. Instead, own it. You can do it, and I'll show you how. So, as I mentioned, the first question is, when should I start saving? Which really means, why is it important to start saving as soon as possible? The next question is always, how much should I start saving? There are many rules of thumb that you can apply, and I will make an entire video on that alone. But for now, I'm just gonna give you enough to get started so you don't bite off more than you can chew. So the answer, save as much as you can each month. $25, $50, $100, whatever you can save, set it aside from your discretionary income. A good goal to strive towards is 10% of your income. So start saving what you can handle and increase it as you can. Once you hit 10% of your income, increase your goal. The last main question I get is, where do I put this money for retirement? This is another topic that warrants its own video, and I promise to deliver one with an additional expert in it. But for now, let's just focus on the basics. So if you work in a company that offers a 401k and matches your contributions, take advantage of it. If you don't know what matching is, it's when a company will match a certain percentage of your contribution up to a certain percent. In other words, that's free money going into your retirement fund that gets compounded more by interest. If you don't have a 401k, or if you want to save more for retirement on top of it, I suggest opening an individual retirement account, or IRA. There's a ton of information I can provide on both of these types of accounts and many others out there, but that will just have to wait for another video. If you have questions in the meantime, you're always welcome to ask me questions by commenting below, emailing me, or direct messaging me through Instagram, Facebook, or LinkedIn. I've also linked 2 great articles in this video description below that will help answer a lot of your questions. If you've watched this video and don't have my free budget setting tool yet, subscribe to my email list found on my website, millsknowsbills.com, to get your very own copy. If you learned something new, please like the video below, and to make sure you don't miss out on any future videos, subscribe to my channel and click the bell icon so you're notified every time a new video is posted. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.